This business loan questionnaire you are about to witness and discover will forever change the way you look at and getting business funding. What if you were given a step-by-step guidance and not from somebody who's over-promising and under-delivering, overwhelming you? They bait and switch you. They don't get you the best lender or lenders, underwriters, the best network and team. And then they are not reliable and trustworthy. Hi, this is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. I'm a business loan broker expert who doesn't do any of the things that I just mentioned. I won't overpromise and underdeliver. I won't overwhelm you. I won't do this, sell you. In fact, I'm an introvert. I'm a very cerebral, meticulous person, and I come from a background where I went to school, got myself educated, went to school for initially sociology, then went over into chemical engineering. I loved chemistry, and then got into the math side and eventually business administration. And I've done a lot in the work field and starting my business as well as having multiple businesses now. So I wouldn't want to give it to anybody and everybody. So be very careful of just giving your information to someone because whether they are legitimate or not, you're not always getting the best. And I usually compete and beat most offers. I've been there myself with my team. And so no further on that part. Let's go into what this questionnaire form will look like. On the screen here, you see, get the funding your business needs fast with the help from a real expert. Please select from the two buttons below to fill out the right funding questionnaire. And on this page, it should be down below in the description, the first or one of the very first two links you can click on, and it should take you to a page that looks like this. It may change over time. You may see it differently, but please select from one of the two options that applies to you. Plus, you get a free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist to get you approved for funding much faster without wasting days, weeks, literally months, and even years of sifting through this information yourself. You can't always find this on the web. And if you do, are they even the best for you? Are they even an expert at what they do? And they're just going to want to make money for themselves for what's in their best interest. I do what's in your best interest. You're a person, a human with emotions, and that's what I care about ultimately. Yes, it's about helping your business get funding, but I care about who you are as well. So I will not take advantage of you. I'm not like that. Those are not my origins. I've never been that way. And so here, you'll want to select one of the two options that applies to you. So you see non-startup business with 3+ months in business, startup business with less than 3 months in business. So whichever one applies. But before we click that, it'll look something like this. It may change over time. You can learn more about myself. But as a person who once worked in the whole 9 to 5, I was underappreciated, undervalued, underpaid. One of my very last roles a long time ago in a 9 to 5 working for a financial logistics position, I couldn't move up another level. And so, like many of you, you wanted to start your own business, or you've been in business for some time. You just want somebody who's dependable and reliable and knows their stuff. Somebody who's in the market, not only knows the maximum terms and maximum rates or best rates and gets you the best funding, but what are the different options? What's the flexibility? What's the versatility? And what is actually best for me? And what's the actual roadmap to moving forward? But there's just a little bit about me there. I can go on maybe towards the end of this video. We'll try to keep this one as short as possible. So let's say I'm a non-startup business with 3+ months in business. So if I click there, it should bring you here. Let's give it 1 second to load. Get the funding your business needs fast. Complete the questionnaire form below to get a personalized and customized email response for your best funding option and options from, and I put in underline here, a real business loan broker expert. Let's pause there. How many times are you going to continue to spin your wheels trying to find information or a service that does or doesn't exist? I know there's a lot of information on the web, blogs, YouTube, but how much substance do they actually have? Are those actual people who will get into the nitty-gritty and go to work for you, let alone understand the actual underwriting process as what those lenders and underwriters are looking for? So you're not just, hey, I took funding, and then you come to me later on and you go, can I get away from this type of product? And then you find out that you can't. You have to do some kind of debt restructuring first. You can't even consolidate what you want. You were trying to get multiple options, but you have stronger credit. So why didn't we leverage your credit instead of trying to get one of these term loan advances? Sometimes those are not in your best interest. Or if it's what you're going to get more of, okay. But the 3 C's of capital that I highly emphasize all the time are cash flow, credit, collateral. You either have one of the three, two of the three, or all three. And then we get to leverage and see what's the best and most appropriate. And I work with the best in-house. I have direct lender partnerships, indirect, where it's better to do a in-house look through a brokerage where I already have those partnerships, but for the more flexibility reasons and more. So, and you'll get into right now in a second why this is different than anything else. So please be serious and responsive. Do not be that person wasting my energy and time. Plus, you can get a free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist to get you approved for funding faster without making those mistakes. It's one that I put together. It's well in depth, and I always keep it up to date. But again, do not waste my energy and time. I'm very protective of that. And I'm a very punctual and disciplined person. I'm not mean. I'm not aggressive. This is just sometimes comes off as tough love. If you haven't heard it before and you need to hear it, well, here it is. And from time to time, I release some of that type of content, but not always. So right here, and I'll show you what it looks like on the thank you page and the expectations. Your name, first and last name is what most I'm looking for. You could put middle initial or middle name if you have one or if you'd like to. Either way is fine. First and last name usually works best. Your email. So please do not do this. Look, I'm going to show you guys an example. These are just some. So look what happens when I do this. I'm auto-populating. Keep an eye out for that. I've seen people who submit this form who, one, they're just pretenders who don't ever even become responsive. Don't be that person. Be serious. And if you want the best, you're working with the best. I've been in this industry long enough with all the different services. I'm always up to date in the market. And you want the best. You want to make sure that you're being taken care of. And as a business loan broker, somebody who can review the documents before sending them to the lender, and or with my team that we look at them behind the scenes and we're doing all of this work there and getting you the best, the relationship that I can leverage with my team personally and in business, I have those. And I've had to take the time to spend on establishing those connections and making sure I also, not only on the personal side, but bringing them actual fundable clients and better clients as well. But if you're lower startup, non-startup, I can help you too. It's fine either way. I've been in your position before and I wish I had a resource like that. So your email, please put the right email. I find out that when I send people emails, I go, whoa, I don't think I received it, or it probably landed in the email that I don't use too often. What is that? Like, did you intentionally do that? Or a lot of the times they don't intentionally do that, but they just don't want to be hearing emails or getting emails. And I'm not like everybody else, just so you know. Don't put me in that bucket like he's just another guy who's going to sell. I don't even like the word sell. Like I said before, I don't come from that background. I've learned the skills you can say in marketing slash sales to some point, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sell you or pressure you. This isn't what this is. I want to give you the value you need and making sure you're making the correct decision and highlighting the benefits if it makes sense to you as that individual owner or owners, depending on the situation. It's very relaxed with me. But don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Don't ever take advantage of anybody. But don't do that with me. But sometimes people try to get away with it, and they're like, I'm like, what are they doing? And they're the same way. Like, what's going on with themselves? And so it's an indicator of the character versus reputation that I'm not going to get into right now, but we leave that out the door. So your email, the most appropriate one, your phone number, mobile preferred, and why I ask for mobile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an email response back. So we'll go into this a little bit more. So when you fill out this questionnaire, I'm giving you an email back in response to your best funding option and options. And you're going to love this email. In fact, I had somebody in the medical space earlier giving me a text message saying, man, I love this email. And I can see why you did it the way you do it. And so what happens is when you submit this questionnaire, I will then be able to email you back on your best funding option and options. I'm like a pre-underwriter. I know what these underwriters, the best ones, are looking for, and the lenders are. Even without seeing the bank statements, if I ask for tax returns, depending on the service we're getting involved with, I don't always have to see that. I can see it from the front end, and I can ask a few things within this questionnaire to get a better understanding, and I'll respond back via email on your best funding option and options thoroughly broken down. We'll go into that in a moment. But it's from top to bottom, very personalized and customized for you. And in that email, you can also honestly, you can start off in that. And so there could be a documents and there could be links and there could be like, oh, this is how you want to go ahead and submit the application. And it's very safe and secure. Here's the process that I would expect. Here's what we're going to go through. There might be extra video content, a conclusion, and a roadmap of what to ultimately do. And so that's when I will send you a quick text message saying, hey, John, hey, Sally, I sent you, this is who it is, me. I sent you an email with the subject line with your best funding options. Can you please open it and reply back if possible? I don't always have to. But what this does, it gives me my energy and time back. People want calls. People want phone calls immediately when they fill out a questionnaire. They want inbound, outbound calls. Is it the best use of my time? No. And is it initially the best use? No. And so what happens is when you see this questionnaire and it gets sent back to you, at least you get to know those options. So you have to look at that email, refer to it, read through it thoroughly, treat it like a contract, even though it isn't one, but look at it and go, man, and don't get overwhelmed because it's going to be long. I'm going to show you what you can and can't qualify for. And the top options are your best ones or your best. So you don't have to get overwhelmed with any of that. But it's going to be awesome and amazing for you. You're going to be like, wow, this guy just saved me a lot of energy and time. And I even get people who go through this who I've never had a phone call with, and they've literally gotten funding of $1 million, 2 million and above, 600,000, 500,000. So it's not like we always need a call. And if by the time we need a phone call, it is justified. It's like we just need clarity, or it's just wanting to hear my voice, but that's not always needed. You're seeing me right here. It's me who I am. And so we can get moving forward much faster, and it separates my pretenders from action takers and people who are just seeking information. And that's fine. I can't always just give information, but I have to be very careful. So your phone number, mobile preferred to send out that quick text, funding amount that you are requesting, very standard, time in business, years or months, FICO credit score. And this should take you no longer than a minute. You're probably looking at it like, come on, that's going to take me like 5-10 minutes. And you can give me rough estimates. If you have it there, you have it there. A lot of people can literally get it done in less than 30 seconds. But don't just speed through it and miss a section. And you're like, and I'm like, I'm going to skip that person because, well, what's this? And sometimes it's a startup, so you don't always fill up all sections. And there's a startup questionnaire for this one too that we saw in the last one if you click that section. But be thorough with it. Don't give me something that's just very minimum. Why do we got to go back email to email? It's not always going to be awarded a phone call in the beginning. Like I said, that's not a bad thing. It's I have my processes, I have my systems and automation. That's fine. You're getting the best. You're going to understand why this works. And sometimes you have to conform to me and I can conform to you. But a lot of the times in this world, you got to go this way. So that's fine. So time in business, years or months, FICO credit score. I'm not a creditor. Just please state your FICO Experian credit score. There are certain programs and providers out there where we might go and say, with if it's business credit cards or another form, or like TransUnion, Equifax, we looked at those and Experian less of a factor, or it just depends. But a lot of the times, FICO, Experian, FICO is FICO 9s, a lot of these that they've used and so forth. Do you have established business credit? Yes or no? Big indicator, because this tells me if you have the proper details, you don't have business credit. Well, we can't do an SBA loan. There's no business credit established. Like you just missed out on that. So we got to work on establishing your business credit. Or if you do have it, we got to establish more of it. Or there's another segment we need to go into. We need to work on a few things there. Or what are the possibilities? Because a lot of the SBA loan lenders, they look for business credit established. And you should have that regardless, separating your personal and business. And if you haven't, you'll learn in time. Yes or no? Ownership percentage. If 50% and below, please list owner two's FICO or at least a range. More precise is better. Also list the lowest FICO credit score of all the owners. Why do I ask for this? When you go into an application, you're not just listing one owner. If you're 50-50 or 25%, however you want to look at, you're not the majority owner, then we're going to need to see more ownerships, regardless a lot of the times. And so we're pulling from the lowest score. We're looking at the two. We're going, the lowest one is the one we are evaluating heavily because you guys are part owner, equal partnerships, etc. And so that's only right that we do so. Nothing wrong with that. So you guys got to take care of each other's credit if there's multiple owners. Lowest monthly revenue in the last 3 months. I'm asking for this because we look at least the last 3 months, sometimes 4 to 6, 12 months, depending on the service, the lender, the organization, the industry, if it's agriculture, etc. Sometimes we have to look at for seasonality reasons. But in the last 3 months, it gives us the best look. It's not too long of a history, but we want to see what's most up to date. We want to see not these recent 3 months, but the 3 months before that. Like, okay, that happened 3 months ago. We see history. That can help a case a little bit. We see the sales being generated. Maybe you're going low a little bit, but this is the time of the season that you go up. So you're looking for more funding so we can be more flexible and work with you on certain things. But the last 3 months of revenue and sales is most important. And we look at the lowest month a lot of the time to say, hey, we can get you between 75 to 200% or 1 to 2x of your lowest monthly revenue in the last 3 months. But we'll also factor in your average monthly revenue those last 3 months, last 6 months in some cases for larger types of services and amounts. And then we'll go, okay, the average and the lowest month look kind of similar. So we'll base it off that. The average is a little bit higher than the lowest month. They maybe just dipped recently and it was their later month, not their most recent month. So we got to look at a few things there. Latest monthly revenue in the last 3 months. And that applies to the current month we're in more than it is the other months. So what are you doing now? Maybe we're at the beginning, there's not enough, you're just getting started, or in the middle of the month, the end of the month. I kind of want to know that because that gives us a projection value as well for the end of the month. And not that we're solely basing it off of that, but we want to know what the trends are as well when we look at bank statements and everything. Average monthly revenue in the last 3 months, like we spoke about earlier, estimate if need be as well with some of these too, but just try to be as precise. Average daily bank balance, this tells us how much you keep in your account per day, how many sales, how much are you depositing versus what you are withdrawing, is more going out of the account than what is coming in. What do you are left with and remaining with? What's the average of all that? You can look at average monthly bank balances as a total as well. But annual gross revenue, And a lot of the times what I say with average daily bank balances is having a minimum of 1,000 and above is better. That's what a lot of lenders like. Now, if you go underneath it, but you have strong enough revenue and not fluctuating too much and all these little things that work well, then we might be able to look at it too. And even sometimes with lower revenue underneath 15,000, we can consider it, even if it's at least underneath 1,000, but it's a lot harder to, and it's per case. Highest monthly sales in the last 6 months, estimated if need be. I asked for that for certain services. Not all will last for 6 months, but we want to know too, what is the trend? Average monthly gross sales in the last 6 months, estimated if need be. So I just want to know that as well. And some of these with the highest monthly sales in the last 6 months, we also look at what we could do. We can pull from that and or look at a few other things, but that's what we would like to see. Use of funds, you can use one of the drop downs here. And don't just select because you just see that you're lazy, just click that one. I want working capital. Okay, good. I want expansion there. Factoring invoices, good. Inventory, payroll, purchasing equipment. Okay, other, you might be able to then list what that other one is and so forth, if available. Existing business loan advance. Yes or no? This is most important. So, do you? Yes, I do. If you answered yes to the above question, it is not just idle related. So if it is idle, you don't have to state you have idle. You can tell me if you would like to. I mean, it's not going to usually have an effect to these other term loans, lines of credit options, and maybe another SBA 7A, maybe an SBA 7A loan, 504. But if you could, if you wanted to, it's not always necessary. Please put down the remaining balance or balances, total debt amount, and type of the loan. If advance, how many positions, etc. Be thorough. Don't just say yes and then just leave it blank. What's that? Yes, if you have idle and then you left it blank, okay, that's understandable. But yes, I have 35,000. You can say I have 35,000. I got 60,000. I have 20,000 remaining with this lender or this organization. You don't always have to say the lender organization if you don't want. That's what I enjoy, and that's what's actually going to be very, very helpful. And then you can say 20,000 remaining on six, paying 3,000 a week or this amount daily or whatever it is. You can give me some rough estimates if need be, but being thorough is going to really help a lot. It'll show me and tell me, okay, a lot about what you can and can't get. You can't consolidate, or you can only get half of this versus this amount. You got to do a debt restructuring situation until you pay this off, come back, get one position instead of two, taking a third or fourth position. It doesn't do you any good. So to do this better. So I'll help you. Term length expectation. Now, this is one that not everybody will understand because if you don't know like the terms for certain services, maybe you've heard. So sometimes there's a lot of unrealistic things put here, but it's fine. I'm not going to blame you unless you know very well or somebody didn't educate you enough. I get that too. But you can say anything here, but it doesn't mean necessarily that's what you'll get. Sometimes people do get it on the spot, and I go, okay, yeah, they can fall between 12 to 24 months. They wanted 15 months. They wanted 6 months. They wanted 4 months. Some people don't need 24, 36. Don't always think you need 82, 10 years. Now, if you qualify and it makes sense, you do so. How much time does it take? Are you ready for that? Do you have the documentation when you're doing a medium to higher doc? I don't want somebody just saying, hey, I want an SBA loan. Yet it takes you 2 years. Hey, you were supposed to submit the digital application, yet you never did, or you did, but you never showed up. How am I supposed to go to my lenders and my underwriters with that? And how does it look back on me? This is my reputation also as well. So please respect both sides. If you're going to cause friction and resistance, we leave that out the door, right? Character can be a fundamental flaw. And I've worked on myself personally development for years in my businesses. And as an entrepreneur business owner, I know how important that is. It makes a self-reflection into your business and how you can generate that revenue. And it even helps you in the longer term. So we leave what you have. If there's an ego, there's stubbornness, there's cockiness, there's no responsiveness, there's all that. That doesn't work with me. You leave that out the door. Don't even spend your time filling this out. Go to somebody who is not going to give you as what's best for you, and they're not going to give you the full details. They're going to give you a lot of the times a runaround. They're just trying to do what's in their best interest. Term length expectation, as we just mentioned. When do you need your funds? How fast? ASAP, 1 to 2 days, next week, next month. That helps. Speed is everything. And I know you need it sometimes. So that is the contributing factor sometimes for me getting you this questionnaire back even faster. Business industry. What is that? Medical, restaurant. What does it look like? Business name. And I like this too because it shows me sometimes people miss a field and don't even like give me the years. They say just the number 2 years. Is that 2 months? Be thorough with your time in business and other parts. 2 years, 2 months, 2 weeks. What does that mean? And so even when I get that, I can see through a business name if you have that. And I can go search. And this is just from my curiosity as well. Sometimes I like to give people love. I'll go to their Facebook pages and maybe comment or give them some hearts, loves, and likes. And I like to show appreciation for who I help. And I want to get to learn more about you and what you do in your business. Please describe your financial needs here. Example, expand on your use of funds, expectations, etc. Be thorough. This is your chance. This is what I recommend, and this is probably the most important. This is going to mitigate everything else, like taking so much time on these. And so please be thorough as much as you can be. Payroll, working capital, marketing, advertising. I need 20,000 for inventory, 15,000 for marketing. I expect to have this here, start up new business with the list can go on and on. Okay, so be thorough. I need equipment. I need a new truck, hauling a new truck, etc. Whatever it is, that gives me a better understanding of whether this is an equipment situation or personal slash business startup business loan, whatever it is. So about us and our services, there are many more you see there. The key benefits of working with us: experienced staff, fast response time, certified experience, really reliable, trustworthy. I'll get back into this in a moment, but how it works: step one, you submit a funding form for funding. Fill out a simple funding submission contact form so I can analyze and evaluate your funding details to give you a very comprehensive response on your funding options and to make sure you're getting the best solution anywhere. You will receive an in-depth email showing you what it takes to qualify, how it works, and where to get started with ease. Step two, get approved for funding. And then you'll get a free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist in the meantime. You can take a look at it, see what I recommend. And when we go in, you finally know without a shadow of a doubt that there's a higher approval odds and what you will be getting, because I can pre-underwrite files a lot of the times, give you ballpark ranges, etc. Step three, get approved and funded. That's it. Move on to the next step. Do I leave? No, I'm going to be here to take care of you. A lot of people come to me and get fast funding, bridge funding, and then we end up getting SBA loans or the other way around. And this is a longer term relationship. Helped out a lot of people from a lot of different industries. And I'm there by your side. I'm just a quick text message. I'm a quick email away. You don't always have to call me. Just give me a quick text message. I'm right there. Hey. And I'm a very appreciative and humble person, so I'll be there to help you every step of the way. So it may look like that, and I'll show you what it looks like on the thank you page right now. So it could look like this in time, and we'll close up shop here in the next couple of 2 to 3 minutes or so. So I'll send you this. If it looks like this, it may look different in time when you're looking at it, but a follow-up email is being sent over by, and I put my name. Also, I'll be sending you another email in response to your details submitted soon. Not always the same day, but quick. Please remember that you're getting the best. So I have a lot of people who go, hey, Michael, I submitted the questionnaire today. Why didn't I get a response back? A lot of the times it's just me doing these, and that's what you want. Over time, it may grow to more, but what I like is this right now. And I've been doing well, and it's been working for a lot of people. I've been bringing you the value. And so maybe if it just takes 1 to 2 days, it's fine, or a little bit more. Sometimes Fridays and Saturdays are usually my catch-up days. So sometimes I go through those days and I do it. So I'll try to get it back to you as soon as possible. And at times I do get flooded, which is fine. When you're working with the best, that's what happens. And I'll take care of you. Don't worry. This is unlike anything else you're going to get. So it is very well worth the wait. And if I have to get it done faster, expedited, I will, but there are some cases for that. And so please look in all folders if necessary when it arrives, and I'll let you know. Spam, junk box, promotions tab, social main, inbox, the search feature, etc., not limited to. Sometimes my emails, they do land in spam at the beginning, and so you have to move it over the promotions tab. I've seen that happen before. But in the meantime, watch the video below to see how my processes works so you know how simple and effective this will be for you and I without a hassle. P.S. I'm a multiple business owner, like I said earlier, like myself, who's received funding for them and know how hard it can be out there for you. Trying to do the term loans, the personal credit cards, you just were in too much for that. Business credit cards, term loans on the personal side, lines of credit. Maybe you're thinking home equity lines of credit, but that's not the best route to go into. There's other ways. There are more advantages: 401k IRA financing, lines of credit of different business lines of credit, term loans, cash advances, real estate funding as well. And I have a form for real estate funding in case it's specifically to that. This may look different over time, but there will be a set of questions that you can answer there. And I'm going to leave it down below. I have also an equipment one, but for the equipment one too, you can fill out this one. If there's another one, maybe I'll leave that, but this is the one you want to go through. And so for traditional real estate financing, multifamily fix and flips and more, then we can do that. If it is an SBA land or if a different scenario, we can work on those. There's a lot more. So you can watch this video and take the time, bookmark it. At the moment, I have 21 minutes. Maybe it's different over time, but there's really no way I could have made this shorter. I try to cut it less than 15 minutes, but it is going to explain to you like why I do it this way. So what will happen? Like I said, I'm going to send you an email on your best funding option and options, thoroughly broken down. I might even have a template because I created a video on this not too long ago. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. So it could look something like this. So when you submit the questionnaire, excuse me, I'll get an email from you, and I'll be able to evaluate and analyze those funding details you put into that form. And as a pre-underwriter, somebody knows what those underwriters are looking for. I'll give you a response back via email. So it could look like something like this. Hi, your name. It's Michael, and then the business loan broker expert. I hope you are doing well. Thanks for submitting your details for what type of funding, expansion, working capital. So I'll put expansion funding on my website, and then I'll remind you of who, just in case, to take care of your, and then what industry, retail, restaurant, business, contracting, the list goes on. I've carefully reviewed your information and it looks good, and I'll show you your best option and options. But below, the first, how are you doing? I really do care. I appreciate you, or I could say, how is business going for you this year? Or I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to fill out this form. I know your energy and time is limited, like is mine. I appreciate what you said in the additional notes section about getting funds for your new excavator of 175,000, let's just say, and marketing and advertising for, that's just an example. Just so you know, getting you this amount will be difficult at all initially, but we can work to get our way up there. Now, I notice your credit is low. There could be a few things, but then I say down here, so I'm going to show you the services lenders with their respective applications in this order. I could say the best options are at the top, starting with getting fast advance funding, credit-based funding, collateral-based funding, whatever the situation in your questionnaire and so forth, and what's more appealing. Note one, this email will be clipped because it's rather long. So if it is, please click to view all message email at the very bottom. Also, each option below will be separated by green headings. The first one is the best to start there. So you see the green heading there. But note two, remember, please read through this email thoroughly, especially at the top, because that's where your best funding option and options are likely non-collateralized funding or collateralized depending on your form. I apologize for that. See, as an introvert going on a little bit on video, not really my forte, but I've done plenty of them. I like to do the writing and blog side of things as well. So that's like my favorite. So up to 25K option, best option for a lump sum with a business checking account, or I could say best SBA 7A loan option, best personal / startup loan option, best this option. So they're separated by green headings, at least green headings for now. And when you go through these, I'll have things like service, the documents, the application, link provided. So you'll be able to understand the service, excuse me, what it entails. Maybe there's some ballpark numbers if necessary. And I'll get to the documents part. What do I need? How do I need to get it submitted? Is there versatility there, flexibility? And then underneath that, there could be an application heading, and then you will be able to submit the application with fintech companies now and what they require and what these lenders want. So it's a very energy and time effective way. I've done this for many years, and I've been iterating this over time, so it'll continue to grow and continue to be added to. If any new lenders come up or anything else is added, that will be there. So you got to see more or less how I do this with the questionnaire form. That video, if it's there again on the thank you page, should explain it to you even more. But you'll want to fill that out again. It'll be down below in the description. And then this one looks similar to the one I just showed you, but I want to make sure I'm communicating with the right person appropriately, not sending you to a non-startup option when you're a startup, or the opposite way in what you're not trying to do. So it could look like that as well, as you see there. And now let me quickly open up this screen and why. 4 reasons. I could have put just 3, but I wanted to put 4 here. 4 reasons why viral funding solutions. And this is a video or a post, excuse me, that I put up not too long ago on Facebook. And I've done it before in the past, but I just wanted to do it here just as a reminder for a lot of people and why. So 4 of these reasons. 1, experience. Many years of experience in the business finance space is what I have myself, my team included, and running multiple businesses myself and understanding the importance of becoming and staying well capitalized, even when the banks say no, and even through your hardest of times. We have yet vetted the best lenders and underwriters and team and sphere of influence, so you only get the best. Number 2, versatility. You get the versatility and flexibility to use a number of different services, even combined. I've done that for a lot of clients myself too, to get you the maximum funding at the term and rates, the early payment discounts, no prepayment penalty, or if there are those, what are the contingencies, and so much more to get you maximum funding at those and more you deserve with a plan that's customized and personalized with the right solution and solutions as we're going through the questionnaire and more. After that, we take the out of the box thinking to another level, which I truly do. I'm a systems and math guy too, so I like to be kind of behind the scenes as much as you see my content. I think things through very well. And so I'll go through things and I'll be able to show you and relay what's best. Integrity. We believe that your priorities, and I put your in caps locks, priorities and needs are mostly met over mine hours. And we strive every day to maximize your results at the most efficient, energy, and time-saving ways, as one of those questionnaire forms here you've seen. As an example, your personal and business relationship matters greatly. You're not a number to me slash us. And number four, loyalty. This is hugest one. You are at the front and center of what we do, and you're getting someone who will stand by your side in even the toughest of times and help you achieve your long-term outcome, not just short-term, not at all just that. Without question and without feeling pressured or worried someone is going to sell you and sell you hard. And I put here, yuck. Nobody wants that. I don't want it. And there are many more reasons, but you got to see right there. There's my LinkedIn. Uh, there's quite a bit more you can learn if you probably viewed my content on Facebook Reels, very well known there, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and other forms of content, my blogs. But aside from that, it's not about the likes. It's not about the followership as much as it is the value. If I can just help out one person and I put impact into that one person and I showed them what they could do and what's in their best interest, I'm very happy and I can go to bed at night knowing that so the follower count, but I care more about the person. The follower count is like not really the vanity metrics and all that. It's like, did I make an impact helping them as a person, as a human, as well as in business? And so this will be down below again. Get this questionnaire submitted, and you got to understand what it is, or why me, or why my company, why myself, as well as what the how and why this works the way that it works. And instead of just people giving me a call out of the blue or just, hey, let's set up a call. And I have to make sure this is on the table first for me to see something concrete. And by the time I get it back to you, when you open up that email and you go through it yourself, when you respond back, if you needed clarity, you can respond back to that. Maybe it's a text or a direct messenger. It's not always necessary for a call. At times it is, but not always. For clarity, you're like, oh, I just had a question. Oh, it was already covered, but you just needed a little bit more. Okay, I get it. But sometimes it's like it's too obtrusive. And so by that point, it's like, hey, Michael, I saw the first option and I just had a question. Okay, it is that way. Great. I will get that over to you. Or hey, when do you think you can send over the application? I'm not going to pressure you, but let's be realistic and be truthful. Don't be a shady character. Nobody wants to work with that. And so just be upfront and don't be aggressive. Just leave that out the door. You're in the best of hands. Okay, so that is everything for me. This will be down below in the description. You can go ahead and get started and I'll get it in my inbox and then I'll evaluate, analyze it, and give you it back in some time. Hopefully the sooner the better. And then we can move forward from there. You can see there my site, Viral Funding Solutions. And more may be adjusted in time. And I can go on and on even more about this questionnaire, but that's all I will leave it at. And again, look down below and it'll be in your best interest and why you're working again with someone like myself, aside from my values and my business, and connecting you with the best terms, rates, lenders, etc., and doing what's best. Because I've come from your position, wanting to do something, needing to do it, and taking action on it, and making sure I have the right steps. And then being undervalued at times, and even if you were overpaid or underpaid, it's like you're never getting anywhere. And just trying to start something. I started in the digital marketing agency space, the affiliate marketing businesses, the health space there, and then went to a few other ventures down the road. And then this is my primary focus, and I know what's going on in this market. And I just wanted to help people, and I didn't want to let my family down at the time. 9 to 5, I had a company go down under, and I had to go back on food stamps. I had to go back on unemployment. I had to start filling out those jobs that I was searching for. And then I didn't want to just let my family down again. And so that's why this also came about. And I wanted to set myself free, have more freedom, and be able to, I guess you could say travel, but be able to work when I'm traveling as well from different locations, which I do. So that is everything from me. Appreciate you. Look down below for the questionnaire, and I will talk to you on the. Oh, no, there's one thing. If you did like it, please share it with others who you feel will find value out of it. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe and click that bell notification icon so you do not miss any future content I will be coming out with. That is it for now. Talk soon.